Today, let's talk about some newer baby technologies that have come out in the last few years that a lot of people have labeled as must-haves. But before we get into it, I have to shamelessly plug my channel. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. I post all kinds of motherhood, cleaning, shop with me, content, and more. And if you are a current subscriber, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys. And go follow me over on TikTok and Instagram. Let's get into it. Man, it has been a while since I posted baby-related content, but I have tons of baby videos on my channel, from building a baby registry from scratch to baby product regrets and more. I will link all of that and everything I talk about in this video in the description box below, along with links to all the baby registry freebie sites where you can get free stuff. I have videos on that too. But I get DMs and requests for 2021 updates to my baby registry stuff all the time, so instead of remaking the same video, since 99% of the content in my other videos is still valid, instead I'm going to talk about newer baby technology that may not have been mentioned in my past videos. I have 4-year-old twins and a 2-year-old, so I've done the baby thing before, and I can look back at my experience and assess on what was really necessary and not. And hopefully my opinions in this video can help guide you. And keep in mind, these are just my singular mom opinions. Tons of other people are going to have different opinions. I always like to say opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, so these are just my asshole opinions. Take them or leave them. But with that crude statement out of the way, let's talk about baby stuff, starting with the Doona. The Doona is the first ever complete and fully integrated travel system for a baby. When you hear people talk about travel systems, it's generally a stroller with a separate car seat that clicks into the stroller. Overall, I highly recommend getting a stroller car seat travel system because it's so easy and convenient. I personally had a City Select double stroller for my twins with Graco car seats that clicked into it. The Doona, on the other hand, is special because it is an infant car seat that magically turns into a stroller in seconds. So if you currently have a small car, no need to take up valuable trunk space with a separate stroller car seat combo. Also, you save time because you can just take your car seat out and then go in seconds. But with this convenience is a hefty price tag of $500, which we can all agree is a lot of money. But if you think about it, you are getting a car seat and stroller in one 2-for-1 deal. That makes the $500 not quite so crazy. And if you currently have a very small car and you're concerned about strollers taking up space, if you already have your trunk packed to the brim, this is a lot cheaper than buying a new car that can fit a stroller. Now, as cool as this stroller is, the downsides of it. Obviously, only fits one baby. So if you're going to have kids close in age, you're going to need to be upgrading to a double stroller soon anyways, and this will be useless at that point. Another downside I have heard from my taller friends is the handlebar doesn't pop up that far, so taller people feel like they need to hunch down when they're using this stroller. Last downside, you can't really buy this used. If you've been to my channel before, y'all know I am a huge proponent for buying things used, especially expensive items like stroller. I myself bought my City Select stroller used. But since this is also your child's car seat, you're not technically supposed to be buying used car seats because they can be partially damaged or tampered with, just not be rendered safe in some way, and the whole purpose of a car seat is for safety. You can read up more on that. I won't go into too much detail, but overall, if you care to know, would I ever buy this myself? For my current situation with 4-year-old twins and a 2-year-old, I still need a double stroller. So I personally, if I was popping out a baby tomorrow, would not buy the Doona because I need to transport more than just one kid. But let's say maybe I have a child in 2 to 3 years from now when my boys are older and hopefully not reliant on a stroller, then yes, I probably would buy the Doona. The convenience of not having to take up trunk space and just being able to pop it out and go right away while my 3 other boys are probably running away from me would be super convenient. So yes, ultimately it would depend for me, but I'm interested in what you guys think. Comment below. What do you think about the Doona? Do you think it's worth the $500? Yes or no? The next newer tech baby item we're going to talk about is one I get asked about all the time because it's very expensive. People really want to know if it's worth it, and that is the Snoo, which is a $1,500 bassinet for baby. The Snoo rocks and shushes all night long to keep baby sleeping for longer. They claim up to an hour longer. And I do know multiple people that have owned the Snoo. I guess I just have really bougie friends, I don't know. But while one of them did really love her Snoo and swears by it, the other two, it really just turned into nursery decor for them. They ended up not even using it for the first like 6-ish months of their baby's life, and then by the time the baby was ready to like truly just be in their bassinet, he had grown out of the bassinet age and couldn't use the Snoo. So they really got zero use out of it. So do I think that this is a baby registry must-have? No. Again, my opinion, I don't think it's necessary. I never personally own the Snoo. Based on my experience and my beliefs about babies, some babies love sleeping and some just struggle with it. And you don't know what you're gonna get until your baby's here. It's just like regular adults, like you and me. Some of us love sleeping. I love sleeping. I could lay down on a patch of dirt and fall asleep for 12 hours. My husband, on the other hand, is an insomniac and struggles to sleep more than 5 or 6 hours a night. My youngest is like me. He has zero preferences on his sleeping arrangement. He just loves sleeping. He has since he was a little baby. We were a little concerned at how much he liked sleeping as a baby because we were so not used to it with my twins who hated sleep. We took him to the pediatrician and was like, he sleeps all the time, is something wrong? And they did a test to see if he was iron deficient. Wasn't iron deficient. She was just like, I think some people just really like sleeping, so enjoy. Anyways, my twins, on the other hand, didn't like sleep as babies. They still don't really like sleep, but as babies, they were colicky and had terrible reflux. So do I think the Snoo would have helped my twins who weren't very good sleepers and had really bad reflux? No. The Snoo is not a cure for reflux. And if your baby has reflux, the Snoo is not going to necessarily help them sleep for longer or better. That's just my opinion from a mother who's dealt with multiple babies with reflux. Laying them flat on their back and having it move them around isn't going to keep the spittle down. And in the scenario that you have a baby who doesn't like to sleep and doesn't have reflux, do I think that the Snoo is worth it for $1,500? I'm still gonna have to say no. If $1,500 is not a lot of money to you, then by all means get it. But if you're like me and that's a big chunk of change to you, I personally don't think it's worth it. There are a lot of other things you can get for a lot less money. For example, this pack and play that has a built-in bassinet is less than $200 and can last you the entire first year of your child's life. They'll sleep in the bassinet at first, then move down to the top layer, and then you can take off that top shelf and they can sleep in the pack and play portion just like a crib. It's what I did for my youngest, and he slept like a dream in his pack and play. And if you want something that soothes baby like electronically, just like the Snoo, for a lot less money, Graco came out with this to compete with the Snoo for way less money. It's $300 and has amazing reviews. I'm gonna link it from Bye Bye Baby below because you can use the 20% off coupons on this as of today when I'm filming this. The coupon does not exclude Graco products, so you should be able to get this cheapest from there if you use the coupon. Next, let's talk about hands-free breast pumps. I'm gonna say right off the bat, if I have another baby, I'm 100% saving my money and buying myself a hands-free pump. I pumped the old-fashioned way for 9 months with my twins and then 9 months with my next one, and I'm not doing that again. I not only refuse to do that again, but I just don't even think it would be possible to do that again. With 3 other kids that have activities and are running all over the place and need me for just things in life, I can't be strapped in place to a machine multiple times a day just pumping. And I looked online, it looks like hands-free pumps are finally at least partially covered by insurance. For regular breast pumps like the Medela, which is what I used, it was completely free with insurance, but it looks like the hand-free options are partially covered on this insurance site that I'll have linked below, and it's considered an upgrade. So depending on your insurance, they may cover a lot of it or part of it, but it's worth checking to see because it could save you a lot of money. And even if you don't want to go the hands-free route and you just want a regular standard pump, definitely be sure you get your insurance to cover it for free, like linked below. But believe me, pumping the old-fashioned way can feel like a prison. You are doing it all the time, just as often as you would feed your baby, but then after you're done pumping, you still have to bottle feed your baby and then clean all the pump parts and then clean the bottle. It's so much work. So anything to alleviate that work, I personally think is worth it. Next, let's talk about baby stroller wagons. Veer Cruisers came out not too long ago and started this trend of baby stroller wagons being sold as an option to handle more rugged terrain and also offer lots of storage or space to haul things other than just baby. Veer Cruiser is sold for $600, and if you get the infant bundle with it, which allows you to attach your infant car seat to it, it's just over $700. Stroller wagons really resonated with families, so much so that there's tons of competitors out there now. There's the Even Flow Pivot Explore, Baby Trend Expedition, Wonderfold wagons, which I pondered getting this 4-seater one. It's a ton of money, but anytime I take my boys out for a full long day of activity, I almost crack and get it. Who knows, it might still happen, because a big pro of this category of items to me is that even when your kids grow out of their stroller wagons, it's still a wagon that you can use to take them to their activities, haul a bunch of stuff around. I mean, between future soccer games, which I'm really excited for that portion of motherhood, but when we're going to soccer games, if I need to haul a bunch of chairs and snacks and like things to the tournament, I can still use my stroller wagon. A huge downside for me though, and one of the reasons I have not bought the stroller wagon yet, is stroller wagons are not allowed at Disney parks. And in the next year, I really do want to take my kids to a Disney park, and if we're not allowed to bring our stroller in there, it's gonna be pretty impossible for me and my husband to have fun. Not sure why Disney made this rule. It seems like a really crappy rule for parents who have multiple small children to not allow basically anything larger than a double stroller. But anyways, I haven't gotten a stroller wagon because of this, because in order for me to be able to afford this stroller wagon, I would need to sell my current double stroller, and I'm not gonna sell it if that's the only type of stroller I own that would be allowed in a Disney park. Next, newer high-end baby products we'll talk about are smart baby monitors like the Nanit, the Owlet, the Lumi by Pampers. It seems like there's so many coming out now. None of them are cheap and none of them are essentials, unless you're like me and you develop severe postpartum anxiety after having your baby. I ended up getting the Owlet Smart Sock when my third was born because I developed crazy postpartum anxiety that was preventing me from sleeping. I was worried about every little thing, and worrying about my baby when he was sleeping was stressing me out so much that I was not getting any sleep. Looking back at it, when my twins were in the baby phase, they had so much colic and reflux that I feel like I was up with them all night anyways, in just complete momby mode. Then when my third came along, he was such a good sleeper, almost too good of a sleeper, that gave me anxiety, and I was up all night because I was worried he would sleep too hard or something. I don't know. But anyways, my husband actually went behind my back and got the Owlet Sleep Sock because he couldn't handle me in my anxiety-riddled mode, and I'm so thankful that he did, because once we had it on my son, just a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders. I felt assured that if anything were to arise, we would at least get a warning. And so I felt like I could breathe again and I could thus sleep again. So is it an essential? No. I survived without it before. Parents for millenniums have survived without it. But if you develop postpartum anxiety, it could really help you. When my son grew out of it as well, we ended up selling it. So in the end, we really didn't spend very much money on it at all after getting the resale back on it. And if I were to have another baby, would I buy it again? I think what I would probably get next time is the Nanit. And the reason why I would get the Nanit is because the Nanit is the only one of those three options that doesn't have a sensor that like rests on baby's body. The Lumi has a sensor that like hangs out right over their stuff, which that makes me a little bit uncomfortable. The Owlet, the sensor goes on their foot, and then the Nanit, they just wear this band around them that has like little geo dots on it. And then the camera over baby's head tracks those dots and can sense whether or not the baby is breathing from there. So there's no actual sensor on baby with the Nanit, and I like that. And those are the newer baby technologies and my honest opinions on them. I'd love to hear your opinions on them in the comments below. If if you feel passionately about any of them, whether you agree or disagree with me. Links to everything also in the description box below, and if you enjoyed this video and want to check out some of my other content, I will have videos and playlists floating over the screen at this point, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!